This is me. And over the past year, I taught myself how to DJ, and ever since, have been playing for local bars and events, trying to figure out if this is something I could turn into a business.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!
But recently, I made the decision of leaving my job at one of the biggest live production companies in the world. A little place in Lidditz, PA is home to all these huge companies. And you could tell being at this job was my dream come true. What's up, guys? It's Wednesday. All jokes aside, leaving the internship helped me see exactly what I wanted, to build something of my own. The amount of time and effort and detail that can go into these events is absolutely bonkers. In the back of my mind, I've always had this dream of being the person behind the vision, the person creating the experience. Helping put together all of these huge artists' productions together made me realize I don't want to spend my life helping build someone else's vision. I want to build my own. So I started thinking, after learning what it takes for these events, how do I take one of these huge ideas and downscale it into something I can actually build? And that's where I got the idea of weddings. Because when you really think about it, weddings are a smaller version of a live production. You still have sound, lighting, crowds, and the responsibility of creating an experience that people will remember forever. The scale is different, but the goal is the same. You're taking an idea and turning it into a moment people get to experience. And since I've been already DJing for local events, this could be the first step toward building something bigger. Maybe wedding DJing isn't where I end up, but is where I start. But where do I start? So that's where I came up with the idea of Max's super cool list of stuff to become a successful wedding DJ, or MSCLOSTBASW DJ for short. So stick around until the end, where I'll show how much profit I made over a year of DJing and how much I still have to learn. Thank you so much for joining me on this day, and make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 5 whole subs. So, step 1, learn how to DJ. Thankfully, we already know how to DJ. Oh, the FLX4, the good old FLX4. About every single person bought it, and then some people just never touched it. But I touched.
Hey, yo!
Now, I don't think I'm that bad. I've spent about a year practicing, so I already have had a few gigs up my sleeve. But taking on weddings is a whole different beast, so we might need to upgrade this as well. But step 1 is already done, I'd say. So step 2 is to connect with other DJs. Me and this other guy wanted to start this DJ club. Well, we didn't really want to start together, but we were running a co-presidency because we had the same idea, starting the club at the same time. So that's a great way to get connected with the school, with the semester, with maybe a bunch of things around this area. I think that will be good. Now, step 3 is to shadow other DJs, preferably a wedding DJ. So what did I do? I went out of my way and connected with one DJ who said he'd give me some opportunities. But there was one problem here. August, the only one I might not be able to make, I'm going away for this one. These ones I could probably go, but that's for a long time. That's for like 2 months. I said thanks again. I'll let him know once like the time comes in, and then if we get closer to that date, I'll probably let him know, hey, I can make it. So where do we go from here? I think where we need to go, I think we need to start practicing again. Now, we have had an opportunity that things kind of fell through, but the guy, this isn't the wedding DJ guy, this is like a completely different guy, somewhere I've DJed before. He told me that I might need speakers and equipment, and I told him that, hey, I'm thinking of buying some, so I'll let you know once I get them. I messaged him, hopefully he'll get back to me. That's that. The best thing I can do now, you see that right there? Look at that. That's my setup. See, that's all the gig right there you need. I think step 3 or 4, I think step 4, building my own sound system, is kind of close, but I'm waiting to hear back from an actual opportunity before I go out of my way and spend like $1,500. So I think we have the first 4 steps in progress. Now the 5th step was just production gear and stuff like that, and like just little things like electric tape and like cable ramps, stuff like that. I'm not gonna get that until I actually have a gig probably. And then the 6th step, which isn't there yet, wedding. First wedding gig. I mean, I'm not even done with step 3 fully yet, or step 2. I haven't fully connected with DJs yet. We're still waiting back on the semester. So once that gets moving, hopefully we'll get some real gigs, maybe at school, and then maybe we'll have some videos up for that too. So that could be cool. That could be interesting. I'm pretty excited. This is gonna be awesome. But I still think we're still far away from our end goal. It's gonna take a while. I'm hoping you'll join me on this journey. Let's keep it moving. So like I said, we need speakers. Now I've been looking for speakers for ages at this point, and we haven't found anything really all that great. We'll figure it out, I think, eventually. Everything will fall into place. So I think it's time to buy some speakers. We've been doing a lot of thinking here, and I think we've landed on Electric Voice ZLX 15Ps, 15-inch. Not because this is gonna magically give me a gig, but because this is a start and I can start learning about a speaker, because I have no experience really with any of these PA speakers. There it is, 356.54. Okay, so we made that purchase. It's 11:50 right now. I gotta get up at 6 o'clock for work tomorrow. So we gotta get moving. Oh great, let's see where the speaker's at. So yeah, there is no speaker. With the snap of a finger, Guitar Center can just say, nope, no speaker for you. We sold it to someone else or it's broken. So a little disappointing, but it's not the only speaker in the world. So we're just gonna keep moving, I guess.
To make up for the disappointment, we decided to pick up a $7 laptop stand and a nice tripod for the business. And after buying all this equipment, it got me thinking, how much money have I actually made doing this? The tax man is going to come eventually whether I like it or not, so I figured it was finally time to track everything. Every dollar I made and every dollar I spent. So after about a year of DJing, here's exactly what my business looks like.
So, starting from the top, we bought the FLX4 February 26, 2025 for $319.93. This was the entry barrier to starting a DJ business. Now, the next months kind of just consisted of buying music and just practicing. But it wasn't until New Year's where we got our first gig. The next purchases kind of just consisted of cables and like a gig bag to get all the stuff in like one order so I could bring it to that gig. That's pretty important stuff right there. That was a great start to starting the business. The next month kind of consisted of parking and buying music for a different bar. I was DJing it. Then I think the biggest purchase we made was the newest MacBook we bought, because our old laptop was this ZenBook and it ran like crap. But one day it was glitching out in the middle of a gig and I was freaking out. I was like, tomorrow I'm buying a new laptop, no question. So we bought that MacBook for $1,389.93. That's not that cheap, so that definitely took a dent in our profit. But to make money, you have to spend money. So we have our expenses estimated about $2,106.39. But that was to buy music, gear, and just all of the above just to get started. So it's not that expensive. Now, I'm not gonna bore you with all the total income because it was kind of just the same gig over and over again, but we made about $2,490 over a course of a few months, honestly, of just consistent gigs. So that's pretty good. Where does that leave our profit though? We have our profit at $383.61, pretty much the price of the speaker, so not that bad. But my thought process was, since I'm buying all this gear, I'm gaining more assets with music, a new laptop right here, all of this stuff, just to keep getting more gigs and just having more experience, which is the important part at the end of the day. In conclusion, if you told me a year ago that I'd actually be making money off of this, I'd probably think you're crazy. The kid that was just playing around with this thing and bought it just for fun, I would not think you were telling the truth that I'd actually make money off of this thing. So I think I'm pretty proud of where I have made it over the past year. I think it's pretty cool that I've actually made money off of this, and I think it's pretty cool that I've actually started like an actual business kind of thing. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Road to 5 whole subs. Thank you so much for watching again. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.